Greetings, Star Trek Fleet Commanders. I am the Angry Rhino. Now, I have decided not to engage in this Borg Solar Armada loop. I'm not giving you all my charged nanoprobes for one damn directive and then having to forego independent credits and other faction credits. I'm just not going to do it. So, regretfully, at least as of right now, I will not be doing a video on these Solar Armadas. I would assume that you can use the other Solar Armada crews from my other videos on these Borg Solar Armadas. What I'm going to do today is go over some Borg hostile grinding crews. While I'm not engaging in the Armada loop, if you choose to, that's fine. You still should be grinding probes. You need independent credits. You need faction credits, even if you're not participating in the Armada loop. If you are, then you damn sure need to be hitting hostile. So what I'm going to do, yes, there are many content creators have gone over Borg crews in the past. So I will talk about some of the old ones and why they work. Go over the hostiles themselves, and maybe, well, not maybe, but I will talk about some of the newer officers, like this new Pike, and some of the combinations that you can do with him in attempts to help you go over give you many options, right? You can see right here, I am on stfc.space. This is the wonderful program. I don't remember who created it, but it's a great program. I use it all the time. Let's go down here to hostiles. Or the level doesn't really matter for the purposes because their firing patterns are all the same, right? You have a smaller energy weapon that fires every round. Then you have the bigger energy weapon that takes 3 rounds to charge and then it fires. Then you have the smaller kinetic weapon that fires in the first round, then takes 2 rounds to charge, fires again. Then, yes, there is a massive kinetic weapon that takes 9 rounds to charge and then fires in the 10th round. Let's go down here to some of the numbers. These are base, so they're not going to be exact because you're going to have a whole bunch of mitigation and the numbers may not look the same in the battle log, but as you can see, weapon 4 was that massive one, and you can see here stfc.space has it as over 1 million. So you definitely want to kill these hostiles before 10 rounds. Really, the 2 weapons you want to worry about are 1 and 3, and that's going to be your your bigger energy weapon, smaller energy weapon, and a smaller kinetic. Given the shipability of the Vidar and how it increases your damage against Borg hostiles, you should be able to kill the hostile in 3 rounds. And thus, as you can see up here, avoiding round 4. Yes, you don't want to be in round 7 or 10, but you don't want to be in round 4 and have 3 shots hitting you. Especially the kinetic again. See, as you can see, weapon 3, the kinetic, it is bigger than 3 of the smaller energy weapons. So what we're going to do, keep that in mind, and I'm going to start up the game. Given that that one kinetic weapon that's going to hit you in round 1 is bigger than 3 of the smaller energy weapons, the most basic crew for fighting Borg hostiles is Pike Moreau Talon, not Pike Moreau Chen, even though it's a battleship. You want to mitigate, or you guess not mitigate. Moreau's the mitigation officer. Chen and Talon are the damage reduction officers against hostiles. So it's the kinetic weapon that you really want to reduce. So we go up in here, and you will see the officers I have loaded up. I'm not going to load up Pike, Moreau, Talon. They're very basic, and you know them. So I'm going to talk about some of the other crews. I'm sure you know, if you've been doing this a while, you have heard about 7 of 11. You should be 7 of 10. I can't believe I can actually say 7-11 now. I said 7 of 10 for so long. At max synergy, 90% chance to double your shots. Why is it not 100? I don't really understand that. I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. You boost it all the way up to 90. What's another 10%? The only reason I can think of is that whoever designed this wanted to piss us off. They wanted their number generator to fail, in my opinion, and have him not pop as often as he should. The more pissed off we are, the more I guess we buy. You do want max synergy. Now, depending on your research, you can get away with not max synergy. I'll show you a couple crews where that can work in your favor. As you can also see on the side, you have 5 increased loot drop, and as you can see, the what are they? The departments, I guess. She's a different department in 7, so therefore she'll give the most synergy. And then you can see 1 over here, also a different department than the other 2. So there's your max synergy. Another option with this crew is to lose, what is that, 20%? Dropping him down to 70% chance to hit. Not losing too much. But if you have higher research, maybe you throw Boimler below decks for more mitigation. As you can see, I have Tendi here. I use her to increase her hull size. You can potentially use this crew, have it work with a boosted hull. I mean, not boosted hull. Yes, you have boosted hull with Tendi, but boosted cargo with, what's he, 4? I don't know, Borg stone. And still be able to fill the cargo, even, you're not at max synergy with 7. It's possible. Now, I have found sometimes my luck is terrible, and the number generator definitely doesn't go in my favor. So, if you like the idea of double shots, but you want some mitigation, more mitigation than Boimler can provide below deck, you can only use 2 officers, dropping them down to like 55% chance to get you double shots, and then use the new Uhura. As you see what she is when you're on an interceptor fighting battleships, he increases your mitigation. Yes, mine's a tier 4. Hopefully you have her unlocked at least, and that will help. You will need to stack attack with her. But, if you know your double shot chance is lower and you're going to take more damage, she would help this because she'll be mitigating. What do I want to show? I want to show you this crew. This is also another crew that you could use. You should know 5 by now, just in case you don't. You have your mitigation there. You would have to stack health for that below deck, and then increase loot. And then, of course, Chen and Talon on the side reduce the damage of those energy and kinetic weapons. Again, depending on your level, this may or may not be good for you. Yes, I know there are a limited number of, what are they called? Transwarp cells. So you can't exactly go in there and experiment a lot. But I'm trying to think if I remember there's a progression. I think old Pike, Moreau, Talon was more on the lower side. And then as you build up in Vidar tier, Vidar level, and your research, you can move on to where the 7 crew works better, to where this crew works better because you'll have better officers to put below deck to increase your mitigation. You'll be getting a little more damage, you'll be getting a little more hull, and such and such and such. Now let's talk about new Pike. You can go full synergy. You can drop the extra loot from 5. Most people use 5 just because it's faster. Also, sometimes by using 5, you will be able to punch up a system. So instead of going in, let's say, the 30 system, you can go to the 31 system and still be able to fill your cargo. Now, while you'd be taking more damage, you also be getting more loot from the hostile themselves, and therefore more extra loot from 5, and still be able to fill your cargo. The idea is it would take less time. Let's talk about his captain ability. Increases your shield mitigation, so it shifts some of your damage from your hull to your shields. And remember, your shields do recharge in between each battle. Una's really on here for synergy, but also speed, so faster. And then Uhura, I just explained Uhura. You could also use Hemmer if you just want the synergy. Maybe you don't have Una. Hemmer doesn't really do anything for you except provide synergy. This is usually what I use. I guess recently I have changed. For the most part, since New Pike has come out, this is what I have used. It has served me very well. I had no problem filling my hull. I keep saying hull instead of cargo and cargo instead of hull or whatever. No problem filling my cargo with this crew. What have I been using recently? Recently, I'm getting very frustrated with how long Borg grinding takes. And I want it to go faster. So there's a few ways to do that, right? Increase the speed of your ship. Increase your loot drop. Well, here you go, you get both. Now what I'm not getting is mitigation. Which, yes, it isn't good, but I have found that recently, with more, like I've been saying, with more research, it comes more hull, it comes more base mitigation for you. So you can almost naturally get close to max mitigation. Remember, mitigation does cap out at about 72%. So I had switched to this crew, New Pike, Una, still getting some synergy with the shield mitigation, sending it to the shields. You get some speed with Una, and extra loot with 5. And just because I have Bormel, I don't really use him too much. And on other ships, he's usually available, and the Bormler effect is below deck ability, 68% to your mitigation. Now, as you can also see, I have, as a Strange New Worlds, Lon below decks, tapping. Another officer to increase your cargo size. Yes, there is a display problem, if you will. Why, I don't know. I don't understand why that can't be correct. If she says you have 609,000, why can't you get 609,000? Why are you still getting 590,000? Whatever. I guess they're okay with things being broken in this game. But that's why I chose not to do the Armada loop. I'm really annoyed. Anyway, hopefully I have made it clear why some of these crews work. Now, I did try to go in order as far as, let's say, an inexperienced Borg grinder to a more experienced Borg grinder. I do hope that I did convey that properly. Maybe. Comment below if you have a question. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And maybe stand with me in boycotting these Borg solar armadas. There's no reason for these directives to cost that many charged nanoprobes. There just isn't. I'm the Angry Rhino. Shields up, Commander.